Man Rich Fulmer, and this is your Ratt Report. I gotta say this before I go on. Last week and this week, no, I didn't do a video for last week. Just didn't do it. Best of Sting, ShopTNA.com. That's not a plug. I'm just pointing out the fact that TNA is still selling Sting videos, even though he is signed with WWE. Must be a mutual thing for Sting, because I know that he's a franchise. I know that he has his own copyright on his name. He could go anywhere in the world after his lacklustering career in WWE and he could still use Sting as his name, basically. I think all talent should be able to do that, but WWE likes to sign and keep their name, as to say. Raven kept his name, RVD kept his name, Tommy Dreamer kept his name, a lot of other guys, Macho Man kept his name, Hulk Hogan kept his name. Sting should be able to keep his name, and he probably will. And later on down the road, I hope that we'll find out what happens next with Sting. I'm hoping that this whole WWE thing goes kaputski and he goes off on his own and does indie things. He should be in there helping out the younger talent. That's my thing. Not feuding with Triple H. But anyway, that's that. This is your TNA review. Bell to Bell is what they're calling this show. This week's show. This is a new thing. Like I said, I watched it last week and it wasn't Bell to Bell. I liked the sketches for who's going to wrestle who between the matches. I like that. It's not like the stilts, the poses for each individual. They're actually sketches. So I like the bell-to-bell idea. I think it's a good idea. This show, as a matter of fact, I don't know if this is going to be an every week thing, but this show is titled Bell to Bell, and this show is for rivalries for the past 13 or so weeks. Brand versus Magnus was good. Mickey James got involved in that, and EY and Bobby Roode wrestled. That was a good one. Kurt Angle and Bobby Lashley wrestled for the TNA title. Kind of a controversial ending. We'll show you that a little bit later. Let's just get on with it. Final match in the feud, Bobby Roode versus Eric Young, EY. I like the attitude that EY has. He's not the stupid little idiot that runs around the ring and goofs off all the time. I do remember Jack on, Jack off, Jack on, Jack off, Jack on, Jack off, where he was a lumberjack. It was funny. I'll never forget to this day. I'll always remember Jack on, Jack off, Jack on, Jack off. You know what I'm talking about. If you've been watching over the past 12, 13 years, then you'll know the lumberjack. He was a lumberjack, and afterwards he was Jack on, Jack off, Jack on, Jack off. It was just so funny. He kept doing it during his interview after the match. It was so funny. Anyway, it was a good one. It was a submission match. They beat the hell out of each other. They put on some really good submission holds. Wasn't a tactical wrestling match. It was more like a brawl with submission ending, I guess you could say. But anyway, it was good. Bobby Roode tapped out in the figure 4, which I'm surprised, because right before that, he looked right at EY and said, "Fuck you," and they started smacking each other. And then Bobby Roode ends up tapping out. You see Eric Young put the shin guard to the back of the leg and kind of use that as force on the shin. So it was kind of underhanded, but like I said, I'm kind of digging the Eric Young attitude that he has of late. It was a really good match, but at the beginning of the match, I thought this was funny. Bobby Roode said, "I'm gonna tap that ass," Actually, his exact words were, "I'm going to make your ass tap out." But what I heard was, "I'm going to tap your ass." And I don't mean bending him over the knee and giving him a little spanking. I think it's a little bit different. Like, why don't we slide out, get high, you know what I mean, hit that kind of thing. You know, tap that ass. That's what I heard. Looks like the Wolves are out of commission. I don't know where this is going to put them. They've tag teamed all over the world. They got the name of the American Wolves because they were the Wolves over in London, and they came up with the names. They're from America. They're the Wolves. You get it? They've been tagging together for years. A few years ago, we went to see them in ROH in Philadelphia, and they wrestled in singles competition, not each other. But you get the idea. And, you know, Eddie Edwards, during a TNA one night only pay-per-view, performed the move outside of the ring, and he broke the heel bone. They showed the x-rays. The heel bone is actually split. So I'm sure pins and needles and screws and titanium in there is going to hold it back together and let it heal. However, right now he's going to be out for a long time, which kind of sucks in a way, because, you know, if you're a Wolves fan, you're seeing them apart now. Davey Richards will continue and do a singles career until Eddie Edwards returns. I'm sure of that. I believe that either one of them would be great in the X Division. Since Eddie Edwards is out, Davey Richards can actually jump in there and be part of the X Division. Let's say Davey Richards versus Low Key X Division title. I'm not even going to put Rockstar Spud in there, because Cheeseburger, Rockstar Spud, Mandrews, not a fan of. I like the little guys, but I just don't think Rockstar Spud is right for X Division right now. Not saying he doesn't have talent, because I believe that he does. I believe also that TNA is using him differently, not in a good way. Because of TNA, I don't like EC3. But he's seen a match with EC3, he tag team with Tracy Smothers, and he actually did a really good job as a technical wrestler. Why doesn't he use that in TNA? I don't know. But anyway, I don't like him. I'll put Davey Richards in the ring against Low Key or Sanjay Dutt, or put him in the ring against EC3, and we'll watch Davey Richards beat the hell out of EC3. You know, X Division wrestlers. So I don't think that they're broke up, but they had to relinquish their titles anyway, because Eddie Edwards is going to be out for an extended long amount of time. A heel injury, a foot injury is one thing, but when it's specified in the heel itself, it makes things difficult. I mean, that's your base of stance right there. And when you're a professional wrestler, you stand on your toes. But have you ever hurt your heel before? Have you ever had it bruised or bumped or landed? I jumped from a 10-foot wall one time. It was by accident. I was running down the hill, jumped off the wall, landed on both feet. I was fine, but my feet hurt. I'll tell you, my heels hurt a lot more also, and I couldn't stand on my tippy toes. And when you're a wrestler, any kind of martial arts, you try to stay on your toes. You try to keep that base, and it's difficult. My question is, where are they going to come up with tag teams? I mean, the best tag teams that they've had, the potential tag teams that they did have, Bram, and Magnus, Storm and Gunner, those tag teams are gone. So now you would have Trainwreck and EC3. Trainwreck doesn't have any talent, and I don't like EC3, so I don't want to see those two tagging together. Bromance, they're okay, just annoying, and they show that they can do any kind of combination between all three of them. And you could still do, say, Gunner and Bram would be a good tag team, I think, because they both carry that same exact intensity that we wrestling fans like, and that's something big to bring to the table as a tag team. For many reasons, more than great talent. I mean, I'm not saying Gunner still has a few years to go under his belt, but as a tag team with Storm, he did a great job as a tag team. But the Viking with the British madman, and you got yourself a great tag team. Just for example. But we'll see where the tag team division goes from here. I mean, TNA doesn't really have much of a tag team division, like I said, but we'll see where it goes from here. Angelina Love versus Gail Kim. This was a good match. This proves once again how great the Knockouts division is. How much better they are than the Divas. That's something completely different, but I think they're better than the Divas. Everybody says give the Divas a chance, but it's never going to happen. I've given them a chance, and I haven't seen anything that impresses me like Gail Kim versus Angelina Love. Knockouts division has always been top-notch. We've seen a Botox injection, a kick up out of that. We've seen eat defeat. We've seen a kick out after that. It was amazing match. These two women beat the hell out of each other. I think it was the #1 contenders match. Gail Kim wins with the eat defeat, defeats Angelina Love. I'm gonna say I like Angelina Love because she has great talent. Looks department, not so much. She said at the beginning she was blessed. This is why I'm saying this. She said at the beginning of the match that she was blessed with her looks. 10 years ago you had good looks. 6-7 years ago you had good looks, and then you lost it when you injected more of that shit into your body, more shit into your skin, make things bigger. Females out there, don't ever do that because you're gonna look bad. Like, I don't even know if I could describe it, but maybe a hi, I'm good looking. My face is all weird, but I'm good looking because I got Botox injections and my boobs are big. Yeah. Anyway, it just makes your voice sound weird and it does all kind of hormonal things to your body. It just shouldn't be happening. But anyway, so moving on to something a little more important. So the Ghost Asylum, they're like the ghost hunters of Destination America, I guess. I don't know who they are. Personally, I don't believe that TV made up bullshit that you see on TV, that Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, or this Ghost Asylum that was brought into the Revolution barn. There's supposed to be some kind of history to it, but you walk in there and the wood only looks, what they've been around, not even a year. So it's been 6 months old, I think it looks. Weathered a little bit because we've had a shitty winter, but it looks, the wood looked brand new. The wood didn't look, old enough to have a story to it. You know what I mean? A few months old. That's what the barn looked. Shitty made. It looked more like a lean-to. They're claiming that it's supposed to be haunted, but it's not. It's not old enough to put any kind of death in there. It's not. I'm sorry, TNA, but you're failing on this angle here. It's a fail. It was a fail. Complete failure. I think they need to drop it and forget it ever happened. Drop it and walk away from it real slow with your hands behind your back. Throw it in the garbage. Put it somewhere else. Leave it alone. Don't ever do that again. That's all I want to say about it. But next week they're going to be there again. I think that if I do another video next week, I'm leaving that part out because I think it's stupid. I'm telling you, I believe in spirits. I've seen them. I've encountered them myself. Nothing on TV prepares you for that. I know how to make orbs go, and it looks like, oh, look at that. You know, I've done this before. I've done all of it before. It's one thing to catch little orbs, and you think they're dust, but they're not. And then it's another thing to have your camera going, and you flash light behind you here into the lens of the camera. Get it? And you do it right, and it makes it look like the orb is going. I've done that before. I've done it accidentally with sunlight before. I was just screwing around at work one time, working at this place where I could be by myself, an entire floor by myself, and I was able to walk around with this camera, and the sunlight hit it just right, and I was like, whoa, it looked like an orb right there. So I went through and I made the same exact steps seconds later, and that orb was there again. Why was that orb there? I figured it out. Because the sunlight hit the lens just right on this end, and you get the picture. Anyway, Falls Count Anywhere, Bram versus Magnus. Mickey comes out midway through the match, and she shouldn't even be there. She come out, I don't know. She was just getting involved. She shouldn't have gotten involved in it. Bram knocks out Magnus, puts Magnus on the floor, goes after Mickie James, chases her into the ring, has the chair. He wants to do something with her. James Storm comes out, gets in the ring, and says, you're not going to hit a woman unless you hit me. And you're definitely not going to hit my friend unless you hit me. You want to hit her, you got to go through me. I think there's an angle building here with James Storm. I don't know if it's James Storm and Mickie James had a little thing before. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But I think there's a little angle, and it's either an angle of Mickie James joining the Revolution, or Magnus and Mickie James joining the Revolution, or it's something that has to do with Bram, because he spoke with Bram before anyway. I think that Bram would be a good choice to be in the Revolution. Maybe Bram and James becoming a tag team. Magnus and James becoming a tag team. I still like the idea of Bram and Gunner being tag team. But that's going off subject. Then Falls Count Anywhere. Magnus wins pinfall in the ring. The only thing I didn't like about this was it had the title alone, Falls Count Anywhere, and you have them fighting just in the arena. I miss those days when Falls Count Anywhere and somebody's in the back laying on the ground and somebody lowers a forklift on top, forklift forks on top of them with a pallet, holds them down, covers them, gets a 3 count. I miss the times when the things would count in the stable next door on the ground, fighting each other, hitting each other in the head with shovels. Falls Count Anywhere means you can go anywhere in the arena or anywhere in the Tri-County area or somewhere. Falls Count Anywhere. They never left the arena. They stay right in the arena where the fans can see it. And I get that. but you have monitors. You have monitors all over the place. I understand you'll have a fancy Titantron, but you have monitors everywhere else. And I think they should have used that and been more out back, or more maybe outside in a parking lot, or beat the crap out of each other on top of somebody's expensive car. That would have been funny. So anywhere else, but the pinfall happened in the ring. This is my problem with it. But it was a great match, nonetheless. Great show. All the way up to this, they only had 4 matches. And that includes the main event that I'm going to show you in its entirety. This is where I'm not really following with TNA too much. I think that they could have done a better job. You know, in an hour's time, that's how many matches ROH puts out. In an hour is 4 matches sometimes 3 matches in an hour. Can you believe that? It's supposed to be 85 minutes without the commercials. So that's an hour and 25 minutes of wrestling and bullshit. Stupid. I get it. But here's your world title match anyway. Kurt Angle defends his title against challenger and #1 contender Bobby Lashley. I'm not going to tell you who wins it. You're going to watch it all the way to the end. It was a controversial ending.
We are moments away, ladies and gentlemen, from our main event for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Lashley, now the challenger. A different type of walk when you're the challenger, getting ready to challenge the champion.
Oh, it's a whole nother level of pressure. It's an opportunity that you might not get again for a long time. You know, when you're the champion, there's pressure to stay on top of that mountain, but when you're the challenger, well, you're getting an opportunity back at your gold with a quick turnaround. You need to capitalize. That's what goes through your mind if I'm Lashley. You get a nice behind-the-scenes look of what it's like as we saw last week. Great stuff there.
They had a match that people are still buzzing about. They tested each other's endurance, intestinal fortitude, moxie, and perseverance. You have to question how difficult will it be to defeat someone in consecutive matches.
Well, you know, it's not just someone, right? Someone in Lashley. I mean, that in itself is a very ambitious task to capture the title from him. Now you got to defend it against him, and that's Kurt Angle's task right now.
There may be no better representative of a world champion than Kurt Angle. A machine with no off switch. A man who performs at a superhero type level. If a greater power sent a being down to earth to become world champion, Kurt Angle would beat that being. The introductions for our main event, our TNA World Heavyweight Championship matchup. Kurt Angle versus Lashley are next on Bell to Bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is your main event of the evening for the TNA Heavyweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, the challenger, standing to my left. He weighed in at 278 pounds and comes to us from Denver, Colorado. He is the challenger, the Destroyer, Lashley. And now, introducing, standing to my right. He weighed in at 239 pounds and comes to us from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is the current reigning, defending TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Kurt Angle.
Fight feel as the champion and challenger get one last look at what they are competing for. the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. In their previous encounter a couple of weeks ago, Lashley had a 44-pound weight advantage. Kurt Angle's cut into that slightly. Now a 39-pound weight advantage for the challenger, Lashley. Odd to say challenger Lashley, but those are the facts. Kurt Angle became champion for a 6th time 2 weeks ago. Lightning quick is Lashley. Nice takedown.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, I mean, if there's anybody on this roster that can trade holds with a Kurt Angle, it would be Lashley. Great job with that side headlock. A little bit of a shoulder throw before that. Listen, we talked about champions before, you know, Kurt being the current champ and Lashley's reign. Before the break, we did this. Ooh. You know, I gotta tell you, listen, someone like Kurt Angle, it's ingrained in him. Seeing him walk out with a world championship is something that is just part of his likeness, his being, since he's a little kid. He's competed and wrestled in tournaments since he's like, I believe it's like 7 years old, he told me. This guy's a 14-time World Heavyweight Champion. He went to the Mecca and became an Olympic gold medalist in 1996 in Atlanta, Georgia at the Games. Look at this guy is all about being the champion. That's the fabric of his being, as the cliche goes.
Kurt Angle, a 2-time NCAA Division I All-American, a TNA Hall of Famer, 2001 National Amateur Wrestling Hall of Fame, 2-time TNA World Tag Team Champion. He's a former X Division champion. Kurt Angle truly has done it all, and he's our world champion today.
He might have got his bell rung there a little bit. You're dealing with someone like Lashley who's really in the zone in this match. He's focused. You know Lashley is hell-bent because he is not the champion anymore. And his eyes have not left Kurt Angle's body since these guys got in this ring. He is just keeping his eyes everywhere Angle moves, man.
Lashley attended Missouri Valley College, 3-time collegiate national champion, has a MMA record of 12-2, 2 wins by knockout, 7 wins by submission, 3 wins by decision.
Nice way to break. See how he just broke that grip? He popped his hips out, did Kurt. Basic folk style, collegiate style break of a grip. Oh, nice go behind takedown into a front face lock by Lashley. But the way Kurt popped his stomach out and his hands helps break the grip. Nice into that armbar there. No.
To your point, it's amazing how quickly Kurt Angle sat out, spun around, and now has position on Lashley.
With a hammerlock. Yeah, no, it's just that's Kurt's hip. He keeps his body so close to Lashley, his upper body. That's not to create any separation. You always want to stay on top of your opponent. Put your weight on your opponent. Kurt does that better than everybody. And that's because of his back. Nice drop step, and he missed. He went for a high crotch, like a single leg high crotch, and Kurt sidestepped him. And Lashley's eyes told the story. He was a little like, all right, Kurt's a little quicker than I thought.
And that'll happen in an instant.
Oh, yeah.
Quick by both champion and challenger.
It was a drop step, trying to do a high crotch that he missed to attempt maybe a single leg of some sorts. Again, another sidestep by Angle.
This time Angle catches Lashley. Overhead belly-to-belly suplex.
Great job right there. Excellent suplex. Now maybe going ahead.
Oh, man!
German suplex. Explosive by Angle.
Not often you see Kurt Angle release with that German suplex.
And you know, I'll tell you what else is not often. You don't see anyone knock Lashley out of the ring with such impact the way we just saw Kurt do that to the challenger.
So moments ago, we saw Kurt Angle thinking some things out on the outside. This time it's Lashley. Picks the ankle of the champion, and here we go.
Champ might have made a little mistake right there. I think Kurt Angle got a little too cocky. Went towards those ropes real quick, and Lashley quickly picked the ankle and gains control. Look, when Lashley fought that whole run, man, when he was the world champion, just as a recent, he backed down from nobody. He wasn't trying to make friends with anybody. I respected the reign of terror that he put out as the world champion Lashley. And there's a great chance it could happen again here.
How about Kurt Angle last week? We thought we were going to have Kurt Angle's championship celebration. Out came half the locker room, and Kurt Angle said, I'll fight y'all.
Yeah, I thought that was great, actually. I love it.
And Lashley.
This is not about making friends here. This business, enough of the friend stuff. Okay, you want to make money. The way you make money is be the top guy. To be the top guy, you got to be as good as these two guys. You know what I mean? You got to have their legacy, their ability. Okay, look at this. He sucked him in here with a nice bear hug. He's gonna throw him. He's gonna. I think he's gonna. Well, maybe a little too high. Kurt's hips are a little too high for Lashley to do an overhead throw here. Nice butterfly grips in, under and over grip. That's the tightest grip your hands can do, as opposed to locking your fingers. When you see guys lock their fingers, Bush League, in my opinion. Real grip is butterfly under and over grip right there.
Just a stronger grip
I made a living with that grip, bro. Yeah, that's the grip. That's the stronger grip, correct.
Kurt Angle somehow able to fight free from the grip of Lashley, and Lashley goes midsection. Cover here by the challenger, and the champion kicks out at 2.
Look how quick he sucks in that gut wrench right there again.
Same grip?
Same grip probably, yeah, unless he's got a wrist. Well, now he's clasped his fingers in and key locks his hands to like locking his hands in this way, which can make it even tighter from reverse.
If you want expert analysis, don't miss 1 second of Friday Night Impact in our main event match. Kurt Angle versus Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Kurt's got to get wrist control here. He's probably got it right now. He's got to get, yeah, he does. He's got to get some wrist control, and he's got to try to sit out, as you know, Josh, right? If he can. So hard, though, with a man as powerful as the challenger. But wrist control's the key.
Kurt Angle back to a vertical base. The champion trying to fight free. High elbows.
There it is. Pops the hips out again. Oh. See? Pops the hips out. Breaks the grip. Here comes Angle.
And Lashley hard into the buckle. Here comes the champion, and Lashley gets a boot up. What a match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Lashley with the cover here. Kurt Angle down, and Angle kicks out. This match continues. This is our main event. It is for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. The challenger Lashley in the orange and black. The champion Kurt Angle in the black, red, and white.
Yeah, Kurt Angle not in a good way right here. Now you have Lashley ever so dominant, keeping that pressure on Kurt. Look at him, look out, just stalking his opponent. Looking him right in the eye. That's a lost art. That's what you need to do when you are really in the zone on your opponent. Look at him. Use your eyes and look at him. Watch every move he's going to make or not make.
Kurt Angle won the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Hold that thought as Lashley floats over and Angle kicks out at 2. Angle, the 6-time TNA World Champion. He won the title 2 weeks ago from Lashley. Kurt Angle, the first ever TNA champion. He's held the title more times than anybody. Will Lashley become a 3rd-time champion here tonight? You talked about Angle being in the zone before, and you mentioned that Lashley perhaps getting into that zone right now. You operate at a different level when you're in that zone, correct?
Oh, yeah, you do. You have to, and that's a mindset that doesn't happen in the match. It happens weeks leading up to a match, or days or hours before the match. It doesn't happen once you walk through the ropes. It's a lifestyle that becomes you. For both these men, and all of our men and women on our roster to get to this level, that's what you have to have, especially these type of elite athletes. And the champion right now might have control, even though the challenger Lashley just rolled in, but he's really not himself here. Maybe not, we'll see.
Heavy punches being fired back and forth from Angle and Lashley. Who will give first? Lashley misses wildly, and Kurt Angle with a German suplex.
Yeah, great job right there. Explosive back German suplex, and he knew Lashley didn't want to get caught with another. Oh, look at this!
Oh, what a spine buster by the challenger. Lateral press, Angle down, and Angle pops free at 2. How valiantly did Lashley fight off that German suplex, that hold after the first one?
That's what a lot of folks, guys can't do against Kurt. They let Kurt get that momentum with a bunch of those Germans, and then they're stuck and they're done. Lashley's smart enough and talented enough to prevent that.
Lashley again misses wildly.
Maybe not.
And again, Angle connects with the German suplex.
Well, he ate one. Well, looks like Lashley's going for a ride. No, another one.
Kurt Angle looking for a third consecutive. Lashley has a tight grip on the ropes now. Oh, man.
And that stops, obviously, it stops that momentum of the back arch by Kurt for the suplex.
And Lashley.
So that athleticism, that reverse leapfrog is sick. And
Oh, man. 278 pounds driven into Kurt Angle. The champion down, and Angle barely got his shoulder up at 2.
Yeah, running power slam right there. Old school, but effective.
Smile across the face of the challenger. Lashley feels he's got Angle right where he wants him.
I don't know if Kurt realized what's about to hit him, man. There's going to be a big, nasty freight train coming right at him.
Lashley looking spear. Angle had it well scouted. Angle looking belly to belly. And now it's
locked
Kurt
and loaded,
Angle.
buddy. He's locked and loaded. Got an extra tight grip there, grabbing his own forearm. Oh! Now he went back to a traditional under and over.
Here's number 3.
Explosive throws. So hard to change your grip in the middle of each suplex. It's the little nuances that people don't see, I'm telling you, that are very important to his success, Kurt's success.
Angle looking, Angle slam. Kurt Angle looking to retain the championship. Lashley down, and the challenger kicks out at 2.
Oh, we saw Lashley have a little frustration earlier. Now we're seeing Angle with some frustration.
Is Kurt Angle thinking ankle lock? Is Kurt Angle looking to put away Lashley?
Got it on.
This is how Angle became champion.
Got to roll through or something, big man. Lashley's got to try and tuck and roll through and get to that bottom rope.
It just doesn't look like Lashley's in a position to do anything right now.
Yeah, well, I think he's doing what he can, and that's crawl to that bottom rope if you can.
Will Lashley reach the bottom rope, or will the pain give in? Will Lashley tap out?
He might sit down and lock on a leg bar, Kurt. We've seen him do that before, which will make that ankle lock even tougher to get out of.
Well, that's what Angle did to defeat Lashley the first time, to become champion.
And a lot of pain being put to the big body of Lashley. There's that roll through.
And Angle all the way to the outside.
Yeah, that momentum of that roll through got Kurt to sail through.
You called it. You said that Lashley needed to either get to the ropes or roll through. When he tried to get to the ropes, Kurt was able to drag him back into the center of the ring. Lashley knows he's got to get Angle back inside the ring.
Weight on his ankle.
Yeah.
See, Lashley's gingerly walking towards Kurt.
Oh! Smart strategy by Lashley. Do some damage on the outside, but get Angle back in the ring.
Yeah, well, Lashley needs to get some time, maybe for that ankle, to get some blood flow in that thing.
Ooh. Oh, man!
That's just intensity, violence. That's a guy who's pissed off that he's not the world champion anymore.
Referee Brian Hebner up to a 7 count now. Lashley's got to get Angle back into the ring. That's the only way Lashley can become champion. Lashley breaks up the 10 count, so the ref is forced to start over.
Looks like Lashley wants to send Angle flying. He's part of the Red Sea there.
Oh, man! Nasty fall there. Oh!
Impressive by the challenger. Zero wasted motion.
Confidence perhaps starting to build in the challenger Lashley. Has Lashley finally done enough to defeat Kurt Angle? Is Lashley smiling?
He's confident. You said it, and rightfully so. Lashley feels like he's ready to become champion again. He knows he's got the opportunity. He knows he's got the champ down and out. Why not smile?
And now Lashley. Look at the power and strength of the challenger.
How impressive. This late in this grueling matchup.
One hand, no less.
The power of this guy.
Oh, man.
But Kurt Angle's a cyborg. You're going to need more than that to kill him, and Lashley knows that.
Everything Lashley did to Kurt Angle on the outside, bounced his head off the steel steps, slammed him into the guardrail, clotheslined him onto the concrete floor. Kurt Angle may be out on his feet. Kurt Angle may be seconds away from losing his championship. There's the spear.
Oh, God, explosive.
Lashley into the cover. Kurt Angle down, and somehow, someway, Angle stays alive at 2.
See Kurt bleeding on the back of his head from somewhere that happened earlier. Not sure where or how, but yeah, I think we could be on the cusp right now of crowning Lashley the champion again.
Lashley went to the top rope in their first encounter. And Lashley trying to go there again. Kurt Angle in hot pursuit. I didn't even know that Kurt Angle could bleed human blood.
Lashley's not used to getting on those ropes too much, and he took a little while to get up there. Now he got caught. Uh-oh, they're both falling. That's tough. It's sweating. They're sweating. The ropes are slippery. They're losing their balance. They're two big, thick dudes.
What's going to happen here?
Tell you, man, there's no room. Just look at the room. There's zero room up there for these two guys.
Precarious situation for champion and challenger.
I can feel it.
No way.
Yeah, he's going Angle's trying to duck under. There it is.
Kurt Angle from the second rope, and Angle slammed.
So big is Lashley.
Lashley's down. Kurt Angle's going to retain his title here tonight. How did Lashley kick out?
Just imagine the fatigue in both of these athletes. Their bodies battered and beaten, just coming off of 2 weeks ago for the world title.
Whatever it takes to leave tonight as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. What are you willing to go through to leave as champion? What is Kurt Angle willing to do?
Oh, we've seen Kurt fly off those ropes.
Moonsault comes up empty. And now Lashley. Lashley's looking for an ankle lock.
Yeah, he's got that ankle lock. Sending a direct message to the champ with his own hold.
Kurt Angle may be forced to tap out here to Lashley's ankle lock. Would it be poetic justice for Lashley to become champion this way?
Oh man, Kurt's about to tap.
Kurt Angle may have no choice here.
Just tap, Kurt is gonna rip your ankle apart.
Angle rolls through. Lashley head off the turnbuckle.
Oh, nice roll up.
Lashley down. Kurt Angle's gonna retain his championship. Kurt Angle is still champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, and still TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Kurt Angle.
What a physical battle it was, an amazing matchup. Got caught, did Lashley, with that roll-up. Gotta tell you, that the angle of the call on the 1-2-3 by the referee, it looked like he was kind of looking from behind of Kurt Angle's body.
Well, you saw the shock and awe on the face of Lashley moments ago. Lashley can hardly believe it.
Well, he might, listen, dude, he might, sorry to interrupt you, Josh, but Lashley might have a gripe here. It was so quick. It looked like maybe the shoulder was up a little bit. Maybe that's Lashley's gripe.
Now, irregardless, Kurt Angle is still the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. A thrilling main event here tonight on Destination America. Bell to bell was phenomenal. Lashley looked shocked. Kurt Angle.
Wait, hold on, I'm getting word here. Yeah, I think we're going to have a replay of what just happened. I'm telling you, I think this guy's shoulder, Lashley's shoulder was up. Here, watch, Josh, wait. Yeah, look at it. His left shoulder, man. Clearly off the mat. I can't blame the ref. It was a blown call, that's all. Yeah, Rob.
So is Lashley's gripe legit?
So, controversial ending. If you look back at the referee at the replay, you see the referee's head is turned when he's counting. He's like holding his hand down like this, and he's counting 1, 2, 3. I don't know how you can look. The action is here, well, how are you looking over here? I mean, was there a girl or somebody with their legs spread open, or I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it was out of the blue. I mean, he completely looked the other way. Bobby Lashley's shoulder was up. The match should have continued, but instead they ended it. Kurt Angle wins. You seen that? I don't understand. I don't like it. I wanted Kurt Angle to win. I did root for Kurt Angle. He's my hometown boy. Always root for Kurt Angle. But why would you do that? I guess they're setting up for something else. They did shake hands at the end. You seen that? That was great. Good code of honor going on there. Check your local listings for time. Destination America every Friday night. TNA, Impact Wrestling, always bringing the best wrestling to you. Follow me on Twitter. This is Ratman. You can type in the Ratt Report and you'll find me anyway. Follow me. Find me on Facebook. The Ratt Report on Facebook. YouTube channel is the Ratt Report. Don't go to the other one. You're not going to find anything there. Nothing new, nothing up to date. Also, go to Indie2 TNA for everything and anything independent wrestling. Independent wrestling is on a roll right now, and it's definitely better than any mainstream anywhere out there. New Japan is mainstream. They are not independent, and neither is AAA. But they put out perfection. TNA, ROH, we talk about it all. NWA Midwest, NWA, everything independent wrestling. Everything. If you're a promoter and you want to get your stuff out there, go to Indie2 TNA. We have a lot of fans. You're a wrestler, you want to showcase your moves, come on, check us out. Post anything you want on the Ratt Report. It's always open. No nudity, nothing graphic like that. I try to keep my page respectable. I know. It's not me to be respectable, but I am the Ratman Rich Former, and I do whatever I want, and it's my page. Post your stuff on my page. Come down to Indie2 TNA. Post anything you want, wrestling-wise, anything independent. Talk about anything independent. We're always welcome. Until next time, this is the Ratman Rich Former, and this has been the Ratt Report. See ya!